10 biggest pieces of SH asterisk. T moves by Danzō and Naruto. There are characters we love to hate with all our might, and is there any bigger piece of SAT than Danzō and Naruto? The guy is a huge mother of asterisk asterisk cur, and there's no other way to put it. To prove what I'm saying, I've compiled 10 of the biggest shitty moves Danzō has pulled off. Get ready to feel the blood boil. I've talked a lot about the hatred we feel for Danzō, and it's tough to know that this is just the tip of the iceberg. Danzō's actions caused havoc from north to south, in all 5 corners of the ninja world. And these impacts have taken root in various generations. I just touched on the subject of roots. If you're a Naruto enthusiast, you know this clashes with one of Danzō's creations, but let's follow in the footsteps of Jack the Ripper. Let's break it down and list the top 10 H asterisk TTI moves by Danzō in Naruto. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Ring the bell to stay updated with our latest content, and smash that like button to support our project, alright? 1. Assisting Orochimaru. Danzō's partnership with Orochimaru practically wiped out any good deed Danzō might have had. Orochimaru was already being hunted for not only creating forbidden jutsu, but also for using these jutsu without caring about anyone's life. No sacrifice was too much for Orochimaru. And believe me, a lot of people ended up in the coffin because of Orochimaru's experiments, meaning Danzō was an accomplice. And things got even worse after Orochimaru was responsible for the death of Hiruzen, the third Hokage. In a way, without Danzō, Orochimaru would never have killed Hiruzen. So, are you boiling with rage against Danzō yet? 2. Destroying an orphanage man. He crossed the line there. Danzō decided that to gain even more control over the Leaf Village, he needed to keep an eye on other countries. And to keep an eye, nothing fairer than creating a perfect double agent. With that idea in mind, Danzō went to an orphanage and demanded that the orphanage owner hand over some children for training. Besides being literally one of the people who created the person who fueled the Fourth Great Ninja War, Kabuto, he also manipulated things so that both Kabuto and the orphanage owner ended up on opposite sides of a battle, resulting in Kabuto killing his own adoptive mother. Now you understand why Kabuto sided with Orochimaru? Better to be on the side of a snake than with Danzō. 3. Stealing Shisui's eyes. One of Leaf Village's greatest fears was precisely a coup d'etat from the Uchiha clan, something that was on the verge of happening until who arrived? Danzō? Hell no. It was Shisui Uchiha who planned to prevent the coup d'etat with the use of Kotowa Matsukami. Well, Danzō didn't think an Uchiha should take the lead in this way, because even if Shisui managed to prevent the coup d'etat, Danzō would still carry the paranoia from the attack of the Nine-Tails from years ago. So, the only way was to get Shisui out of the way and take the power of the Sharingan. Danzō was responsible for the death of one of the greatest Uchihas ever existed, and this action resulted in another evil deed, which I'll talk about later. 4. Cold-blooded murder of a messenger. On the day Nagato attacked the Leaf Village, a messenger toad from Mount Myoboku paid a visit to check things out. When no one was looking, Danzō decided to kill the toad. And what was the reason for this? Well, the toad's job was to warn Naruto about Nagato's arrival in the village, so without the toad, Nagato wreaked havoc as he pleased. And if you think Danzō did this to protect Naruto, forget it. Danzō did this to deliberately delay Naruto, because without him, the only person who would be able to confront the Akatsuki leader head-on would be Hokage Tsunade. And it was spot on, folks. Tsunade got exhausted from healing the people injured in the invasion, to the point of falling into a coma. And who volunteered to become the next Hokage? Himself, Danzō. 5. Attempting to seize the Hokage mantle. I just talked about Danzō's plans in the previous topic, but this goes beyond killing a toad. Danzō has had his eye on the position for years, and his best chance came precisely at an event that promised to wipe out the entire Leaf Village. The guy simply wanted everything to blow up just to prove that he was capable of reaching the highest post in the ninja world, which indeed, the Hokage is considerably superior to the other cages. At the Cage Summit, it was Danzō who showed up there as the Leaf's representative. Luckily, Danzō couldn't enjoy this power position for long. 6. Abandoning the 5-cage summit. This is a technique very used by Danzō, bailing out before things get ugly. During the Cage Summit arc, Danzō represented the Leaf Village because of Tsunade's coma after Pain's attack. And when Sasuke arrived with the sole intention of killing Danzō, the guy ran away. Of course, this tarnished the name of the Leaf Village as a whole. It was a correct move, because he knew Sasuke's motivation for wanting to kill Danzō, but would take merit away from the Hokage title. Luckily, Tsunade returned to office, and the 5th Hokage restored much of the respect for this position. 7. Attempting to assassinate the 3rd Hokage. As if wanting to take the Hokage throne wasn't enough, Danzō spared no effort to kill the 3rd Hokage and finally take over the post. There was already an event where the Hokage was walking through the forest and was attacked by members of the Root Foundation, the ANBU version controlled by Danzō. Of course, Danzō was the one who gave this order, and when Hiruzen arrived at the Hokage's office, Danzō was sitting in the Hokage's chair. The guy really thought he had cancelled Hiruzen's life, and yet Hiruzen decided to forgive the guy, and life went on. Seriously, Hiruzen has a kindness that doesn't exist. If it were me in his place, Danzō's head would have to come on a platter. 8. Uchiha Massacre. You knew I was going to touch on this subject. The biggest wound in the history of the Leaf Village. I mentioned in Shisui's part that I would talk more about it, and now is the time. Danzō's greatest crime was setting the stage for the Uchiha Massacre to happen. Hundreds of families died in a single night, all because of the fear implanted by Tobirama that the Uchihas were a threat. And we only had 3 survivors, Itachi, Sasuke, and Obito. The consequence of this catastrophe was Itachi threatening Danzō in case someone hurt Sasuke. And it's logical that this threat disappeared along with Itachi after his death, but the problem is that Sasuke would go after that scumbag sooner or later, and it was very soon. 9. Arms with Sharingan. Once again we go back to the Orochimaru theme, and the talk of the moment is about how Orochimaru developed an arm full of Sharingans from several of the Uchihas who were killed in the massacre. Just showing that, for Danzō, the Uchihas are dangerous, but he has every right to use the power that made them a danger. Armed with this arm, originally from Shin Uchiha, a pinch of Hashirama's cells, and the power of Izanami, Danzō went into the final battle against Sasuke. And honestly, Danzō thought about how seeing that pile of Sharingans would piss off Sasuke? Definitely did. 10. Using a human hostage as a shield. And the proof that Sasuke was bloodthirsty to wipe out Danzō from the map. The fight ended. Danzō was clearly defeated. And at the first opportunity, Danzō grabbed Karen and used her as a hostage. Man, what a dirty game. Karen is a medical ninja. She has no ability to face Danzō. Of course, Sasuke didn't stop, but the point is to show that Danzō uses every piece and abuses any opportunity to come out on top. For me, the guy had a huge importance for the entire Naruto work. It's no wonder Danzō's nickname was the Darkness of the Shinobi.